Yes, thank you very much, Trace. It is Henry G, as he started to say. It will be the second map of this epic best of 3. And what a surprising result to kick things off. Mirage, it felt like a mousesports lock-in. The veto was questionable, but you can't argue with the results from NiP there. What a tremendous performance to kick things off. They'll be going 1-0 as we get into the next map, Inferno. It's their pick. You would assume at this point they'll be running away with it. We'll see whether that's the case. They looked so hot today, looking so on point. And the man on your screen right there, Forrest, amazing performance from him. One of his absolute best. Dennis was keeping up the pace as well. And Matt, what are your thoughts for this one? Do you feel like mousesports, they can bounce back? They were missing Oscar throughout the entire first map.
I mean, absolutely. There's no question you can. On Inferno, every team has a game plan, right? You said it. It's normally a third map within series. Everyone's prone to playing it. They might not be comfortable. They might not be their best map, their go-to. They're going to have a plan. So if NiP is off at all, you would expect that mousesports will at least be able to adapt and enable themselves to take advantage of that. You're right. Oscar wasn't electrifying in the first map. This map, I think, favors it even more on the CT side for him.
Just Mirage is normally so fantastic for him. He had like one good round, I would say, but it didn't find them the result they were looking for. But here we go, the second map of the best of 3, and it will be a CT start for mousesports. That certainly bodes well. We did hear on the desk they won the 9th round, and Yanko is, of course, right. They are going to be going on the CT side. Bodes very well for them, but no defuse kit to speak of. No upgraded pistols for NiP, just that one smoke. No HEs or double smoke, so B feels unlikely, I would say, to smoke towards the library side and try and get out of those apartments and quad. That would be the most logical outcome for me. But the default will come in first. There's nothing too fast-paced here to kick things off.
Well, Rops will hold toward the pit side. So watch for him to be an anchor in that position. He's not alone in doing so this round either, because they've got Sticko up in front. Oscar and Sonny debate each other out of the cubby. So it's Chris alone to anchor at Banana, and he's doing that rather, I guess, inquisitively. I won't say aggressively, because peeking down Banana, I thought he had the information. I thought he would have known that Rez actually got toward the logs, but did not spot him and goes down as a result.
With that information as well, knowing that someone was so far out on the B bomb site towards the barrels, suggests he's there alone. Rez is now in, Matt. He can call for the rotations. His teammates don't need to go towards A whatsoever. Why are they not checking Arch? I am so baffled by this play. Rez has got an open B site. They're still going towards A, and they're getting punished for it. What are NiP doing? Rez was in the site. It was open. The round was done. And still they go towards A. They were not committed at all. Unless Rez gave some sort of horrible information, didn't say anything. He was towards the well, pushing spawn with nothing at all. And they'll pay the price for it. What an absolute disaster from NiP there. mousesports just giving up at that point. It's like, well, we've lost everyone at B. We won't even rotate over. We'll just take our chances and hope they go towards A. Rez gets all the intel he needs. They don't do anything about it.
Yeah, not the start that NiP would want if they want to close this series down in 2. It's early days yet, but it all adds up quickly in Counter-Strike. Round by round, these guys are so evenly matched. And that one will cost them.
That's such a weird call. Dennis, I would guess like interim in-game leader at this point. He's hardly renowned for the role, but that call was not ideal. They really needed to think about the fact they had a player in B, uncontested. Spawn was clear. I can't stress enough how difficult that was to watch, but either way, it will be the force buy from NiP here. There was plenty of force buy antics on Mirage. Let's see if they can replicate some of that in round number 2 here. NiP with the CZs, the Deagles. 2 smokes, it just said it's go towards B. Smoke Coffin, smoke Spawn, but they've got Chris J to deal with that MP7. He's one of the few players that consistently buys this weapon. Got a smoke to work with here, so he's just going to play in front of it for now. No flashbangs to push that smoke, so NiP will wait for now. Sonny backing Chris up. He might just pre-fire that corner and take Dennis down here. We'll see if Chris J is feeling up to it.
Hard to say. Flash through Dennis. They're surrounding him completely. Chris goes down with a single deagle shot, and Dennis is actually far enough forward. He could have almost caught Sonny out. Great start to the round from NiP. Good dink as well. Sonny weakened, softened up, and Sticko didn't have his gun drawn. He was ready to throw a nade to try and hold them out. That allowed them by, and he couldn't follow up on the kill either. So man advantage still to NiP. Bomb planted this time. Won't have that issue this time around as Oscar sprays through the smoke and at least pulls it back. Sticko will arrive again with 13 HP from Ruins. And you would expect at this point they've stabilized it enough. No kits on the 3 players that are alive. I think there's one down in the site if I'm not mistaken. As Rops closes out on Forrest, it's all on to Get Right. First kill goes his way. Sticko's low, which means getting Oscar, he's given himself a chance, but he's lost track of where to look. Nearly got caught out in doing it, but he runs and guns and the CZ will do.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic from Get Right. Really well done in the 1 versus 3. You can see mousesports didn't want to give us those kills so quickly. They're trying to coordinate themselves and calm down for the 3 versus 1. One player exposed towards spawn. Chris made light work of him and the second. And Sticko, one of the original players rotating in towards that B side. He found a couple of kills, but taking down to 13 HP. Stood no chance there, especially against the CZ headshot at range. And there it is, 1-1. The force spike has to come in. It's the exact same scenario we had on Mirage map. Perfect news for NiP after dropping a nightmare of a pistol round to kick things off in Inferno. They're currently a map up. This is our 3rd quarterfinal of the day. NiP, I didn't think they'd be winning Mirage, so this is looking very good for them now. Sunny tagged up.
Similar start to the last map, remember, as well, but it was NiP that won the pistol, and the round was then stolen by mousesports, so opposite results, same outcome. Forest, good double with the MAC-10 as well. So building up some cash, he'll go down to 47 HP. Rez goes down to 53. They work together in tandem on that position. So Oscar, meanwhile, spots out or tries to fire into the smoke rather than spot out, I should say. But tried to get some damage done. Backs to the site. He's got Rops to work with.
At this point, it still could fall apart from NiP. They need to make sure they don't give up a single kill with no trade potential. That is the calling card of a bad play, especially in these sort of rounds. Up against pistols, there should be 1Ds coming in with no kill in return, but it's looking well handled. Get Right might go down here. The 5-7 always going to be deadly at range, or close range, I should say, and that's all Rops will get. 4 versus 1 now. Just Sticko holding up towards those T steps, and it will be quite a clean round there from NiP. So no back and forth action to kick things off here in Inferno. Just NiP stealing that second round away, and then a clean anti-force buy from then, presumably going to be 3-1 at this point. Forest might be dropped by Sticko, but looks the wrong way, and he'll find the final kill there. 2-1, Fulika coming in, as mousesports will only get 1 frag, leaving 4 of the NiP players up.
Well, and 4 kills for Forest on a MAC-10 as well, which is great for his bank account. He'll, as you say, going against a Fulico, presumably keep that, as will Draken and Rez on the respective MP7s. Ooh, okay, so actually, fair enough. They're going to keep the MP7. They give it to Get Right so he can actually build back up a bit of a bank, having gone down. And Draken buys out another MAC-10.
We have
Still SMGs.
Yeah, they will do very well this round. They'll make light work of these unarmored bodies. They'll go through them like a hot knife through butter. And as you can see, everyone burning alive. They get a couple of kills, pretty much as good as it's ever going to get, Matt, I would say. More than they were worth. So that's fine, but still.
And they don't even care about losing men in that position because they're going to buy out rifles.
That's the point I wanted to make. The fact that NiP aren't actually that worried about that. They actually have a great chance of winning this round. And that might sound mental to say. You lost a couple of kills, you're going to do better in the next one, but you're throwing away a couple of these SMGs. You do not want 4 MAC-10s and MP7s to try and operate in the first gun round here. So that actually is quite good news, believe it or not, for NiP. So 3 AKs now, 2 MP7s. And in terms of the helmet situation, there's only 2 of them on mousesports. So those MP7s that are brought over to this round actually are going to do a lot of damage here. Sunny's feeling very brave indeed. He's fully blind and he'll pay for it. Chris J, one of the players without helmets, has to fall back here. Can't even risk going down with nothing here. He'll drop a smoke and try and buy some time for a rotation. But that's going to take a while. This is looking very promising for NiP. They might just unload on the B site straight away here. Get Right. He pointed it out. He still is in that lurk role for NiP. Currently in the boiler room with the MP7. Needs to make sure he goes down with nothing, though. It won't do anything for the squad if he just walks out boiler and dies. He needs to time this well. If they commit fully towards the B side, he can wait for transitions. He can wait for sound cues and then be a nuisance. He could even just watch second middle while they go in and just confirm, you don't need to watch the back whatsoever. I've got this. He'll start to fall back and actually join the squad here. I'm surprised he doesn't go all in, but the fact they've got the man advantage makes sense. Why make it a 4-on-4? And a potential disaster. He's got one of the few smokes, so he'll be throwing that in towards the coffins, and here's the execution. Chris Jen, a lot of trouble here. Remember, no helmets.
Not quite, you say that, but this Molotov didn't. Okay, great execution from Draken. Good realization. Stick go. Oh, damage. Does he fire further? He likes to hold his ammunition, and that actually results in Rez getting position. I thought Chris might get away with one because the Molotov didn't actually spill down over into the orange position he was playing. Sometimes teams don't double check that, and if you throw it right, presumably you shouldn't have to, but luckily Draken did because Chris could have caught them off.
It's interesting the mousesports really go for that aggressive play until they've stabilized. Normally you see those sort of aggressive stances come out once you've managed to string a couple of rounds together, then you start to bully the B side of the map. Sunny trying to make it happen, normally so good at that, but you saw fully flashed and taken down by Rez to kick things off. Really hung Chris out to dry at that point. 4-on-2, and NiP certainly can justify going for the push. Oscar here in a lot of trouble. He misses the shot, which he does. He should be taken down, but somehow Dennis doesn't convert it. That was everything. The fact they bring an AWP and an M4 into this next round suggests they'll force fight. I'd be calling that. It is quite early on, Maybe they don't have to, maybe go for the partial. I would say it's likely they even go for this. Deagle's coming out. Oscar normally so happy to just use the AWP and allow his teammates to buy up, but we'll see what happens here. Chris J not buying anything so far. And it's quite conservative actually from mousesports. So Oscar with it all to do, and remember, very quiet showing from him on Mirage. I wouldn't say he'll be finding 3 or 4 kills, but certainly possible. He can bounce back as he looks towards the T-steps, knowing Draken will be waiting there for him. Doesn't fully commit. Smokes down, and that will force Draken to move as well.
Trying to fire into the smoke, Dennis, and hope that someone was a little bit beyond the point of safety behind it. Oscar. Hard to tell from my perspective if he could spot his foot or not in that position.
Now remember, NiP are absolutely aware Oscar saved the AWP. Dennis even looked down the scope with his own eyes towards the end of the last round. Ideally, be execution. That's what you want to be doing. Drop all the smokes and Molotovs, same as what they did before. It's the best way to remove an awful situation. You want to be Molotoving towards that emo position. That would be great. There's only Sunny towards B right now. So if they go through with that notion, that could be round in itself. Chris J will rotate him. He's only got the USP and body armor. Sunny would have to find double kill with the Deagle here to stand a chance. Oscar will probably just save the AWP if the bomb goes down. He does start to rotate over though. So he'll be part of the action. Will this be anything for mousesports? It might be absolutely everything. Chris J with a silent USP somehow finds 2. Will it be enough? Time will tell. Bomb not planted, there's 20 seconds remaining, and Get Right is so far removed from this situation. The AWP does get dropped, but Sunny's sitting in the smoke, and this could get very awkward for Draken as he tries to jump through. He'll be punished for this surely. The Deagle comes out, and Get Right left with another clutch, and it's not going to work. NiP fumble. What looked like a guaranteed 5 rounds on the board there. Chris J with the default pistol comes out and makes it all work.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable he's able to hit the headshot, more so with the back turned on a target with head armor. That's not easy to do, and you called it. Fumbles is the right word for this because you've just given them a lifeline back in, double up, and you lose momentum on a T side.
Why they're not checking the boost spot in that sort of round, I couldn't tell you. They seemed flabbergasted when they came in towards the site that someone was up there. Great opening kill by the CZ, but that was the cue that Chris J needed. As soon as that attention gets taken away, all 3 players are going to be turning around. It's not the case of, oh, 1 player will just be dealing with that. All 3 of them are going to turn around and try and deal with the threats. At that point, Chris J comes round. He's got the worst weapon for the job. The silenced USP against armor somehow gets 2. Just shows you how poor the comms are for NiP there. The synergy really not with them as it all falls apart. That was a must-win round. And it's got mousesports right back into it. You're absolutely right. The fact that they have now the double AWP setup, all the utility, they just won pretty much eco there. Round 7, and that's going to tilt NiP somewhat. This is their map to win, their pick. And they've given up a guaranteed round, it felt like. Still on 5-on-5 in round number 7 here. In terms of the finances for NiP, they have 1 more buy remaining as Sticko falls back. Smoke starting to be deployed as NiP wrap round towards the A site.
Forrest cuts through the archway towards CT. Perfect timing in doing so because Sunny had just arrived in the library and he had no idea that Forrest would be so close behind. Robs on 22. Smoke down, somehow surviving inside of it, and they've looked away! Robs! That kill alone on Rez is massive because bomb goes down inside of the site. Forrest is low, and they have to get to Oscar before Chris rotates. He's only inside of CT now. And Oscar keeps himself alive with a well-timed smoke on top of the flames.
Yeah, that's so well played by him. You can see him have the smoke out ready for the Molotov to come through. He could still win this round. He's there. Draken with the AWP doesn't want to spam him, and his teammate's gone down. Draken had the pounds, had to do something here. It's going to come down to a no-scope, which he hits. And now the 1v1 begins. Chris J low, but it might not matter. It's AWP versus AWP. Advantage to Draken with the bomb down. Chris J peeks, but Draken misses the shot. Can he recover? I'm not sure. Needs to hold his nerve here. Close range AWPing is going to decide the fate of round number 7. Chris J looking confident, blocks him out of the air, and Draken couldn't do it in the 1 versus 1 map. That's all down to Oscar.
Absolutely.
He gets 2 kills and keeps himself alive for so long for his teammate to find the penultimate kill, and then Chris J, he'll finish things off.
Oscar, and I'm gonna throw in Rops on that as well because the smoke when they wrapped from library was still in their way, deterring their vision, and he manages to survive just long enough to get 1 kill that allows Oscar to do the rest. Draken in that 1-on-1 didn't really play it right to cover the angle. You could see Chris, he was just walking in, and Draken was still expecting he was going to walk out for the front of the library and go for a straight shot. So well played from Chris. 2 rounds in a row mousesports get away with that could have easily swung this wide open for NiP.
Yeah, Draken, unfortunately, just didn't know what to do in that situation. Didn't want to pull out the pistol and spam. Probably would have got the kill. Oscar's, what, 20 HP? I think that was worth the risk. The fact he just sat there at the open, did nothing while his teammate went down. Sort of dropped the ball in that respect. He got the kill on Oscar, lovely no-scope, but you could see Chris J looked so confident in the 1 versus 1, completely outplayed him. And it will be 4-3 as mousesports edge their way back into it. That's 2 rounds NiP should be guaranteed that have slipped away. Double off set up back out, but both teams struggling for cash now. Remember, that's 2 very close rounds as Chris J finds the opening pick. Forrest will be dropped.
Draken will take charge with the AK. Dennis, apparently the one to go lead. Smoke off Oscar on the AWP. There's an additional smoke deployed toward the top of middle as well, and they'll get to the wall at least. No rotation yet from the second man at B. They'll rely on the man advantage to, although it's a 4-on-3 in A, still be enough. Typically speaking, that's how you defend it by default. And if you can do it versus 5, you certainly should be able to do it with 4 without the rotation. So Rops starts it off very well. Kill plus a dink. Res down to 23. Sticko stays inside of the site. Rops tries to get so far in the pit that they'd have to rotate deep enough and swing wide enough that his teammates are able to compensate and get kills in return. And that's exactly what's happened so far. Get right, still can't find him. And Rops gets away with the kill. It's now 4-4. From what easily could have been 5-1, potentially even 6-2.
mousesports completely reverse their fortune. Here are the scoreboards as they stand. You only got to see it for a second. I can break it down though. It will be 7 kills for Draken and Forrest. The bottom is Dennis with 4 and 6. Top of mousesports, Rops 8 and 5. Bit of a resurgence from him. Sticko 5 kills. Actually, everyone else on 5 frags as they give up 2 disastrous rounds. Pitter just going to be chiming in to calm them down. I think this has to be the eco now for NiP after losing 3 rounds in a row. Pretty unbelievable, but there we have it. We'll see whether they buy anything at all. They have 4 set loss players, currently sat on around $3,000 average. I would say they could go for PT50s or CZs. Indeed they will. 4 CZs coming out. Forrest not buying anything just yet. Chris does get some, I should say, Get Right in this respect. Does get some armor, so does Rez and Get Right and Dennis. So there we go. There'll be a little bit to work with here. The partial buy will be attempted here in round number 9. Oh, NiP. You just got to try and compose yourself after those couple of rounds. Those really were hard to watch, but double orb set up out for mousesports and Oscar. A lot more confident to Pete for this T steps out, knowing it's impossible for Draken to have the AWP.
Res to the stairwell.
You can see, I think they're throwing the smoke on the window ledge there. Allows the CT to spot feet at the end of the apartments. Terrors know they can't go much further than that. Robs will fall back. Great game from him so far. 8 kills after 8 rounds.
He stepped up as required down a map. Chris with the flash off chimney. Does catch Rops. Couldn't get a kill, but he did do damage. That'll help his teammates to collect. Oscar and Sticko doing so. Finally, Rops goes down. It's 2 kills, in fact, for NiP in that process because Sticko was found by Dennis, but Sonny's returned, and Draken at the pit with a CZ at that range. Low HP, no chance. mousesports take the lead, in fact, on the CT side, so definitely looking solid. No bomb plant for NiP, but as they have taken the lead and they have gotten the 5th round, it's essentially a max round bonus. I think that's 4 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is. So 4 rounds in a row. 2,900 for NiP, and they'll buy.
Round 10. Loss bonus now at the absolute maximum. We'll see whether they can rebalance as Draken finds the opening pick. That was not ideal from Oscar. You can see a very wide peak, but same story for Chris J, but he'll capitalize on his. Brings it back to the 4 versus 4, drops a smoke. And it still gives the advantage to NiP, but it's not as detrimental, of course, with Chris J finding that pick in return. Nice little incendiary there towards Reds. He'll have to move now. You can see him firing off, trying to catch Reds falling back there through the smoke. Nice idea. Didn't quite land it. NiP suddenly flustered. You can see, even with 1 minute 20 remaining, they have 2 smokes and 1 flashbang. They just deposited their final Molotov there. And mousesports gotta be happy at their position right now. Sonny nades towards second middle, does a little bit of damage there towards Get Right, and Draken got the opening pick. Can he find anything more?
Stico still holding
Oh.
quad side. We've gone for a bit of a trip.
Okay.
Psychedelic journey to the world unknown. Rops is going to hold by the box. In fact, he'll get up on top of it. Spammable wall, but it's not a kill upon doing so. Just damage. Dennis could find out Sunny, but that's going to tell Rops that they're there. Get Right goes immediately underneath. It still finds the kill, just kept going beyond that which the aim could reach from Rops. And it's just Chris finally and NiP are going to respond, and they're going to do so, presumably, as Chris backs away with 4 players surviving, meaning although this will reset 4 rounds, it won't hinder them too much if they lose the next.
Well, if he saves the AWP, they can still buy. He'll be able to drop even 2 M4s. So that's a possibility. Chris J has to survive, though. If he doesn't, they probably just take a partial buy. Everyone else is hovering around $1,000, apart from Oscar. He's got enough for even another AWP. So there we go. We'll see whether Chris J will survive. It looks like he certainly will. It'll still be a compromise buy from mousesports. It won't be ideal as NiP tie things up 5-5. All things considered on the T side of Inferno, it's still a good half so far. It just could have been so much better for them. As mousesports will give in after losing the opening pick. Oscar dropped by Draken, and at that point it's the default. Going through the steps to dissect the map and finding the kills required. It was Get Right who managed to find the really impactful kills there. As 4 players survive for NiP as well. They've got a buy in the bag now, and mousesports will be buying up. They've gone for the double AWP setup. 2 M4s, like I said, it's not too bad at all. I think there'll be probably 1 player on a pistol. That might be Rob. He's got 2,400 right now, working out how he wants to buy. Could go for the pistol or the SMG, opts for the UMP, and it gets a slight bit of utility as well. You don't actually need helmets at all on the CT side. Once the gun rounds begin, and you know they're rocking with AKs and the AWP, you can take a bit of a risk and just say, I'll just get the body armor, which is $650, and save some money to get that utility out, which Robs has done just here. Big round for mousesports. Win this. Probably going to win the half. Lose it, however, you're going to be full eco next round. But they do have that double AWP setup, which has been very promising on Inferno, not so much on Mirage.
So 5-5. And break point, essentially, for both teams. NiP have a bit of residual cash, as mentioned, from keeping 4 players alive, but this ultimately dictates who, as I see it, will win this half. Certainly could play out differently, but it should at least, based on the economic trend. As goes all the way around, covers off the barrels, checks the bags, didn't go all the way because he didn't want to step too far and be spotted, but they've at least cleared Banana. That was their goal, that was their intent. They'll leave him there to cover it off and start pushing back the CTs on the A side as well. It is a 4-1 split. They've gone for a 3-man quad side. One of them, obviously, Rops, who's been playing on the, oh, that Molotov. Draken gets away with only minor damage, but Rops obviously playing on the balcony. They've rotated Sunny over early. So 1 man in B, and they are heading in that direction. Smoke deployed, they're gonna have to call for rotation almost instantly. Chris has to hit the shot.
He has not been Molotov out of position, but he doesn't hit the first. That does not bode well, only gets 1. That might call for a save already. Sunny has to be the only response unit coming through, and he's in towards Ruins, and he's gonna be smoked out again. Nice work by Forrest to get that down. Like I said, with the money the way it is, just save the weapons you've got. I don't think they should be going for this whatsoever. Oscar's in CT spawn to see if he can back Sunny up. If he gets 1 pick, Sunny might just pounce through the smoke at that point. They're still in a position to fall back. I think they absolutely will. As Dennis takes 1 down, he might be responded, and indeed he is. Didn't have to go for that pick, in my opinion. Now a 3 versus 3. Looking a little bit more interesting. The smoke will go on the bomb, presumably. Actually going towards Banana, and that flashbang is everything. This is actually looking like it'll fall apart. Dennis over-peaking after finding that great pick. Now they have to go for a boost here, potentially. They will try it, but they're fumbling. Oh my goodness, what are you up to,
They're
boys?
not on the defuse, though.
Okay.
So they're out of it no matter what. You're right, I would have elected to see more of a save call in that. They managed to keep 3 alive, fair enough. Oscar couldn't get the pick right away. It's just a really awkward round because you got to get on that defuse. If you've done that much work, just get on it. But Oscar had a kit. He wasn't near enough by. The boost was not well executed, but NiP get away with the round either way.
Yeah, I need to turn the bomb timer up, apparently, Matt. Because I realized that once he got up,
I think when the smoke first went to Banana, had a kit gotten on it, then they had it. Exactly. But it was Oscar that was too far away, so.
But I guess when they boosted up, they spotted no one was defusing. They could guarantee at that point that it was absolutely fine and fall off. So I guess it's still 5 for NiP. They didn't want to lose that many numbers towards the end of the round. But there it is, no force buy from mousesports to keep 2 players on an eco. That's Stico and Chris J. But Oscar can always win rounds single-handedly. We'll see if we'll be able to do so here. Stico just avoiding the flames there. Oscar this round will be towards the arch. See whether he can pick apart NiP here. On the CD side of Inferno, certainly possible. Sunny removed from the equation. He's got one of the few M4s. Flashes towards mid now. It's a 4-man stack towards A. So the majority of the firepower lies. In fact, it's just Chris J alone with a default weapon at B. That is it. Remember, Rez got in there before. Open sight, and they still went towards A.
Ooh, they were going to try and boost Dennis. I was about to.
Maybe leave the boost for now.
Yeah, it's not gone well in the last 2 rounds, has it? I was about to call out that they were going to do that, and they overstepped it, and then Dennis just walks into Sunny.
He has made some questionable decisions in the last few rounds. The in-game leader, that wasn't his best work as he goes around for absolutely nothing there. No utility, walks dry around the arch corner. That wasn't required, didn't sell a fake or anything, just gave a weapon away. Now it's actually a 4 versus... Okay, 3 versus 2 as Draken did get 1, but that's not enough. I'd say mousesports win this round with Rez being on low HP, but the King is still alive. Forrest does take down Rob. Sticko drops with him, and now Oscar, the worst possible weapon to try and retake this bomb site. The AWP from the ruins. NiP have turned their fortune around, and Oscar checking every corner he'll just have to save. So well done. I thought that was going to fall apart. Oh, Oscar still saves for the battle at least, but really doesn't work out for him whatsoever. They do have enough for a buy, though. That was the eco. They didn't invest too much money into round number 12. That's 7-5 in favor of NiP. Here the frag leaders so far. Draken on 10 with 8 deaths. And Robs hasn't found a kill in the last few as he stays on 9 after the success of mousesports. When they found those 4 rounds in a row, he was on 8. So there we go. There's a blast from the past, the old 1.5 menu. As we'll be into round 13 here. Nades in towards that boiler room. Sticko's just on a Deagle. I guess he had to drop an AWP for one of his teammates. So he's got Deagle, no armor. Have to play very defensively there, try and steal 1 kill away. That would be his objective. As Oscar looks for a lot more than that. 2 kills coming from mousesports, 5 versus 3. Right off the bat.
Forrest stepping on top of Banana. Chris will shut that down, and back with guns. mousesports start to take control again. Last round, NiP gave away so much. It looked like they'd steal another round away, which, if you remember correctly, they did on round 6. Round 5, round 6, when it was 4-1. Maybe round 5. Do the math. Dennis. Nade goes out. So 2 versus 5. Pistol for Sticko, no armor, but M4s across the board, and although they don't have kits, this man or men advantage, this situation they find themselves in is very favorable because it may not even come to a bomb plant. It is 2 inside of B and only 2 though, so if they even get 1 and then a favorable trade, they can get a bomb down. And then it's all to play for. They've got 2 smokes to work with. Molotov's going to clear out Orange's 1 in New Box. Sunny has to move forward. He gets positioned just barely in the corner. There's enough room, and Chris will play once again at the pillar. He found 1 and went down the last time he played here with the AWP. That would be enough in this case because they already have the advantage, but he's not going to find that far at all. Smoke down towards CT, late peek out, and Sunny's got a lineup.
Oh, Sunny had to make that work. If he goes down with nothing, that was definitely available for NiP. He stays with the second oranges, gets the lineup and the double spray down. And that might be money coming to a hole for NiP. So a chance for at least this first round here. There'll be eco for last, I'd imagine. Rez has got 6k, so he could buy up with Deagle armor. He wants to drop some pistols. I'll take a pause just to work out what's going on if they want to force this. Here's the replay. Sunny getting it done. Second player just walked into his cross, so they didn't really have the time to really check every single nook and cranny of the sites. 7-6, still disappointing for mousesports. Remember, on the CT side here, NiP's pick, you assume they're going to bring some firepower to Inferno. Already ran away with Mirage. There's the young guns on the end of the tables there. Draken on your far right, and then Rez next to him. Rez has found some sensational form this tournament.
Absolutely.
Not particularly this map, but still posting decent numbers. As 3 of them at the bottom with 8, Draken on top of 10, Get Right 9. Very equally spread on mousesports as well. Sunny and Oscar both with 10, Rops, Chris J 9, Sticko 7 and 11. As we get into round number 14 here. That is going to be the force buy, I can confirm that. 2 pistols, 3 rifles, one of which is the Galil for NiP. And this could be where mousesports win the half because NiP will have nothing left for that final round and no bomb gets planted here.
Oscar backs off. Smoke deployed yet again toward the top of middle. And NiP have to be explosive. They'll go together. Try and trade off pistol players. Getting a trade involves having a gun ready, however, and around the corner throwing an aid. Rops times it perfectly as he peeks out to find two, and look at Oscar. So quick as always with the AWP. He'll hold in front of the library. Get right. Not going to go any further either. Oscar actually got that shot, not stick who we were observing, but same result, doesn't matter, I suppose. It's Draken versus 5. Good luck. 7-7.
Really didn't get anything done there. Tried to go for a little set piece off the bat there, but coming around the quad once the smoke was deployed, but hadn't quite bloomed. So Rob's got a double spray down there. That was pretty much the round at that point. They didn't have anything to recover with. One player wrapping around the arch. Oscar dealt with him quite cleanly, and it will be CZs only for the final round. You just try a banana rush here, something like that, and time will tell. I would say maybe apartments, try and flash out there. As we get into round number 15, mousesports on course to win the half.
Yeah, absolutely. Turned it around. They certainly did. From that 5-5 scoreline. NiP though, T-side, 7 rounds.
Oh, the wall bang.
With that doesn't often work. They have to be pretty much hugged into the corner, and he gets a headshot with it as well. That's not bad.
That's the same smoke I was describing. You throw it in the windowsill there, you can see the feet, they can see nothing on that side. It's really cool if it works, and Rops, he's doing work as he manages to find the 5 versus 3 now. Bombs down, that's going to be round. It will be mousesports to win this half 8-7. Flashbang goes in, he's got a bit of bloodlust going on, and fair play to him. He's hitting absolutely everything right now. That will cause him to fall back, but I just don't see a world where NiP can recover this, even think about doing it.
Get right with one. Sunny and Oscar to close it. It was all he could find. 1 kill total for NiP in the round. 8-7 mousesports CT side NiP's map. And they're up 1 already, so they're in good position with a pistol. Can they find that pistol? Remember last time they did not win when they swapped over.
Well, Matthew, time will tell. We'll take a quick break and be back with the second half very soon.
So split the half down the middle, favor the CT side, and then swap them over and see if they can do it again. That's the situation for mousesports. Oscar was more impressive this time on his AWP. He got 13 kills, only 8 deaths.
Yep.
Rops was just ahead on the AK, but we'll see if Oscar can do it with a T-sided op.
We have to note that NiP, sure, it's a good half of them. 7 rounds of the T-side is great. They made some horrendous mistakes there. Rounds that were guaranteed to be theirs. Over-peaking, fumbling plays, and losing to full ecos with the communication breakdown. We'll see what happens here in the pistol. If NiP win it, they're probably on track for a 2-0. If they don't, though, very similar situation to Mirage. It could fall apart. They managed to weather the storm in the first map, which is Mirage, after it looked like mousesports were destined to bring that back in their favor. We'll see if they can do it here, though. It will be one upgraded pistol for Rops. That P250 does so much damage on the T side. One smoke, again, suggests they'll go towards A instead of B. Forrest doesn't want them to get anywhere near a bomb site here as he goes towards second middle. Sunny just completely drops him in the bedroom.
Wouldn't know anything about that. Draken goes back out, looks toward the log, spots one. Knows they're there. That's all he needs to know at this point. No need to overcommit to that fight, more so because they lost Forrest. So map control certainly available. Checking B, going to Banana. 3 players here, 2 aggressively faced. Or positioned to get right. The one that's in the back lines toward Ruins has a flash, which he's going to put over now. Doesn't work out. Rops got the shot off before they were blinded. And Rez was a step too far and gone. Draken on 11 HP. This should go mousesports' way.
Should do, but Dennis is alive and kicking. He's holding towards middle. That's where they head, but Get Right's been dropped. Surely that is the round. Draken will get a consolation frag, but Dennis has to go big here. Absolutely nothing there. Clothesline by Rops. And it is going to be the pistol for mousesports. That's going to extend their lead to 9. And NiP's down 7 here. Draken low HP, might as well have saved the armor. Knows he's got nothing to do with this round. Rops 16 kills, Oscar 14. Those are the names you want at the top. Sunny mid-table as well. And NiP get absolutely destroyed there in the pistol as Forrest went for the aggressive pick towards second and was dealt with by Sunny at that stage. And then it just all fell apart. NiP tried to react, pushing towards B, but Rops that P250 way too strong, I'm afraid. And there it is. First round of the second half going in favor of the international side. It will be now Draken hold his USP. I don't think that's going to happen. How is he not dead? But he will be going down, I can guarantee you that.
Great shot. Draken at least shows off some skill. But mousesports now have both pistols in this game. They were ecoed in the first half, so you could negate the fact that when you say both pistols, you assume they got 6 rounds out of that. They didn't quite in this situation, but they do have both pistols. That is factually true nonetheless.
Well, they lost the second round before. Will it happen again? NiP with CZs, 5 smokes. They can treat it like a gun round map. The CZ on this particular map is so deadly. You can just hide in all the little nooks and crannies, the tiny hiding spots, first oranges, the garbage spot towards middle, apartments. With the smokes there as well, you can control the pace of the round and wait for mistakes to be made. Holding those crossfires, the CZ, this is definitely winnable for NiP.
Smoke down towards CT. Back 10 sprays in, can't find much, but Rops opens up the kills.
That was Dennis pushing towards second middle, I'd assume. I'll go find his body for you. Let's
Please do. No man left behind. Send it home where it belongs. They're still watching out inside of mid. Sunny will wait with the AK and stick go as well toward the banana position. Bomb is in that direction.
He picked second middle from the same window. Forrest attempted it in the pistol. Very similar outcome, I have to say. Crisp headshot.
True. I was going to say more convincing. I guess it wasn't. It was 1 bullet last time, but it is gun this time against it. So the AK obviously favored in that duel. Rez, don't know that he would have heard them. I think they made a little bit of noise when they went for that secondary boost, but they're going to back off. Running down Banana, he'll certainly hear that at the very least. They've already since rotated 1 player back. That's Rez, and they're going to do that doubly so by sending Get Right as well. Bomb is going to wrap toward the arch. How, somehow, Chris gunning up Rez, who goes for a knife. How did they not spot Get Right rotating back? And furthermore, Forrest was actually behind them when they were top mid toward the quad side, and there was no exchange. So tunnel visioned, I think, either way as they retreated. Could have been more damage done. It's still a 4 versus, okay, 1. Forrest, the last alive. There was literally a point, if on the minimap you looked, when they were wrapping toward the arch, they were at the mid wall, and Forrest retreated from Boiler, and I think T's were looking toward arch and the CT was looking toward pit, and they just didn't even notice they were side by side.
There it is, double digits for mousesports here in the second half, 10-7. Not really too much to report there, I'm afraid. NiP went for the pick and towards second middle. Dennis was dropped. He's having a rough game. He's made some really disappointing solo plays on the T side, and similar sort of outcome here in the second half. 8 for 14. That's going to be mousesports with 4 players surviving as well. Forrest is trying to hold on to his CZ in the pits. I don't think he'll be found, but he won't get much to take it to the next round himself. So that was the second round force bite. Has to be the eco now for NiP just the default weaponry, I'm afraid. Forest with that CZ armor. And 11-7 coming in. It's looking quite good now for mousesports.
So pistols again for NiP, and a chance to really stretch their legs on the T side. Inferno, again, you mentioned it, it's NiP's choice, but it's the most evenly suited of all the maps. You question why Cash didn't come into this. I think our analysts did as well. So Oscar toward the top of middle. They'll go with speed this time against the pistols. Chris holding onto his CZ, presumably wants to build up his bank. They don't, I mean, they might. I don't recommend, and usually they don't run a double op setup on the T side, so no need for him to go toward that weapon.
No, you don't want that at all, really. Like, some people will give it a go if they just pick it up and then quickly realize it's a horrible idea when they die and never try to sit again.
Discard that immediately.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a gimme round as Oscar opens things up. Smoke down towards library to 4-man B stack, as you can see. So that is the round there and then. They'll plant, and at this point, NiP does look some exit kills, I guess. You don't want to just rush in and die. That's just going to feed mousesports, especially those SMGs. But just hold on positions where they might go hunting for a little bit and you can get a crossfire, maybe steal an AK away for the next round. That's as good as it's going to get at this point.
So back away. They don't want to give away anything. There's an SMG on the map. It is the one that finds the kill on Get Right as well. Armor for Forrest. If he takes no damage and that armor goes unscathed, he'll be able to upgrade for a discounted rate. That's not going to be the case. Does get a kill in the CZ though, so something to show for it. Rops goes in search of res. Draken's also back toward T-spawn. These rounds taking a little bit longer than that of, or those of the rounds we saw on Mirage. And we are at 11-7. NiP about to get back into the guns, need to respond now. If they don't, this becomes an uphill battle and a climb they may not even begin.
We'll get into the first gun round here. NiP with it all to do. There's a reason they picked this map. We saw on the T side, but after some catastrophic failures, it has led them here. They didn't manage to win the half, which felt like it was completely theirs. mousesports doing a great job capitalizing on the mistakes. No kits available for NiP here. Round 19 with the AWP out. 4 rifles. And bare bones utility. See, Forrest left absolutely nothing after he deploys his smoke in the mid area. And that's the problem with the force buy. So, will they be able to hold them off? Draken with the AWP. He'll be towards B for now. Sunny at the bottom by the logs. It's a very slow, methodical default from mousesports. As Robson's get tagged up at the start, they're down to 39 points of health. They still have 5 smokes over now. They're just trying to bleed the CTs out, show presence where they can, get the apartments in B control. The fact they've used no smokes or real utility at all to get the top of B, this is looking very good. As Chris J nades towards first oranges, doesn't connect. Draken now at the coffins.
Coffins with the AWP, perfect positioning. Should he be able to find Chris? Flash is well suited, but he's wise to it and crouches. Doesn't back off. He wanted the same positioning for his crosshair when he rose back up. They're going to go for the boost. He needs to be very careful not to re-peek in that situation. Steps wide, reads it well, and takes down Sunny. Oh, man, through the smoke. Down goes Chris as well, and Draken's having an absolute whale of a round.
What was that? Second shot just perfect. 5-on-2 now, Robson Oscar to recover. Any damage they can do financially is still great. They've got plenty of cash, and NiP certainly don't. There's a nice kill from Rez though, and that's going to be it. Draken saves the day. Get Right was dropped, but the AWP was absolutely spot on there. Like you said, read the boost very well. They dropped a nice smoke, but then Draken finds only his 6th kill the AWP. Remember, he was on the T side, so that's forgivable. He'll do his best work now on the CT side, like Oscar did. As we get into round number 20 here, there's plenty of money for the mousesports side. I would say they don't have a buy. If they get the bomb down, they might have 3/4 of a buy available to them. We'll see. But for now, the AWP's out 4 AKs. NiP know they can break them here. But Oscar on the precipice of the Molotov. Rez didn't read it. And it will be an early 5 versus 4. Oscar will take some damage, but he's fine with that. He knows another player's waiting as he goes for the wallbang. Doesn't connect it, but he gets away safely.
I was more worried about Chris with that grenade, because he was already down to 35. That nade went any further, he was gone. Oscar had enough, having not taken too much damage from the Molotov. Oscar's still going to hold back toward the stairs. In case anyone was peeking to take further advantage or to compensate for the deficit that NiP finds themselves in. Remember, this would be a reset. This is the first round after the only win so far for NiP. The first gun round went their way. So equally as important as the last round. Sticko's gonna back off. Damage is decent to 2, but they can't find anything further, and they're not even really trying to. In fact, sitting inside of B, that's expected. 2 players going passive, having lost banana control early on. But 2 players toward the arch. So fast rotation available. They'll give up a lot toward pit. If mousesports gets a read on this in time and get toward A, that's a very tough retake. As time continues to tick, NiP tries to make amends. 30 seconds, they push through. Down goes Dennis, and what an entrance. Chris J with both. This round's gone.
You're absolutely right there. The B site just collapses. They roll over as mousesports come in with the pretty harsh reset there as well. 2 players to try and save their weaponry. It's Forrest and Draken. After finding the first pick, it was Oscar that led the way. Chris J following things up, who's been so great for mousesports this year. 5 players to survive as well. This is going to be a difficult recovery. No kills, a little bit of damage exchange at the start of the round, but nothing done when the final commitment comes in from Mouse there. Will they go for the hunts? I'm not so sure. mousesports will be fine. Just keeping 5 players alive here. Their money isn't exactly fantastic. They just want to make sure everyone survives, and Oscar will be watching every exit point from the T-steps area. In terms of the CT positions, they're actually going to be towards Arch and the bomb site. No one going to find them. And does this force NiP to purchase around this? They have got enough to drop 2 M4s. Draken and Forrest can do that. But still, it'd be a difficult buy. But I guess at this point, 12-8 down, they probably need to. They need to capitalize on the fact they've saved an AWP and a rifle. It'll be another difficult round for them. But well done by mousesports. They're making a convincing case to take us to a 3rd.
Absolutely. Our 3rd series of 3 today that would go the distance. 9 maps over 3 best-of-3s. We're not done there. We're not done or there yet. Conflate 2 thoughts, it's not a big deal. Oscar will hold toward the top of banana with the AWP yet again. No utility this time from NiP used early. They don't want to bleed themselves dry too soon, but in being patient in that regard, mousesports is happy to take what's given to them, and they're going to march right into the B site. Get right fully flashed. Smoke wasn't bloomed. He nearly got away with one before such time they arised, and Rez missed an opportunity that would have been absolutely massive in shutting down mousesports, but look at the entrance from Get Right. Back in with the flash, nearly found all 3. They managed to save 1. That was Chris at water as Oscar got the kill, but he's since missed, and Chris is long gone. Bomb is down, and it is a 4 versus 2 for NiP.
They create the fortress, though, with the smokes. The bomb is safely within it. What a play from Get Right. It looked like he had all 3 there. Runs through the smoke with a flashbang. It was chaotic. It looked like Rez and Get Right given up again. They got nothing done with their initial sprays, but the reload came through, and Get Right with the perfect flash. 2 kills came in, tried to bayonet the 3rd, but couldn't quite get it. And now Robson CT spawn. He still could make something of this. This round ain't done just yet. But Forrest watching the angle, presumably gets the kill, but no. Robs opens it up, and now there might be a chance.
10 HP for Rops. His speed on the AK saves him against Forrest. And you're right, there's certainly still a chance given that position he gets picked at. 1 HP.
1 HP.
As the pistol, I suppose, I think, as Draken was wielding that rather than the AWP, which is why it was hindered so much by the wall. Oscar, rather. He's also on 9, and his teammate's gone. He'll back away. He has to. Time is gone. No chance he was going to find the kills. So he'll save the op, but NiP get their 9th round.
Certainly do. It was scrappy, but they do keep decent numbers up. 3 players in total with the AWP and 2 AKs. They start to look a little bit more stable now, but mousesports still with plenty of cash. Will call for the pause. 12-9 is the overall score. NiP looking for double digits here. mousesports will purchase the AWP straight away. Remember, it was carried on from the previous round. As LMBT now to chime in. Wants to play. In terms of the second half, mousesports won the pistol, then got the 3-0 conversion. They lost the first gun round, but then reset NiP. And at that point, it took an absolutely amazing push from Get Right to keep them in the round. It felt like they were collapsed towards B again. But remember, the reset's still there for NiP. mousesports know it. They're going to buy everything they can here. Lose this round, and that could be the end. It'll be 39 down, looking at the barrel of a double eco. Nothing will do but a victory for the Swedish squad here. Money low for both sides. And what's the play? Draken knows he probably can't fully go toe-to-toe with Oscar in a 1 versus 1. Needs to be smarter with his plays here. Hold the correct angles, which he's been doing so far. He's been playing quite a passive game. He hasn't been super aggressive and flashy. He's just been trying to get the kills that count when they commit towards a bomb site, and I respect that. And there it is again. So hits the shot, falls back to a more defensive line. Not overcommitting. As they go for a faster A-take here, they're going to be focusing towards the quad. Draken goes back towards the site. Dennis has the hit. This hasn't had the best game so far. Fully flashed, but Forrest had to bail him out.
Forrest and Get Right. Dennis to add to it. Very well struck from NiP in an important round again to avoid it. Oscar trying to do it again. Stick goes down, bomb dropped. Oscar can't hit the shots. And NiP very quick.
Oh!
All right. I was going to say quickly should end this. 5 HP, and Oscar does respond.
Oh, Rez. Gotta hate that when it happens. Felt like a locked-in kill. Oscar might survive this one now. We'll see.
They've got to look this way. Surely someone has to check it. Forrest is backing up. He'll be able to spot. Wasn't sure he was going to when Oscar first started going that direction. So 2 rounds separate NiP from mousesports, and they're both in double digits.
Well, Forrest had the opportunity there to go for the double orb setup. It looked like he was going for it, but looked to his teammates and they said, no, let's just keep on the single orb. It would be him on that secondary AWP. And remember, you can't buy the AK-47. That might sound quite basic, but it's very positive to have it on the CT side. So you can buy more orbs if you really think that's what you need. But for the next round coming up, let's stay on the AK. They're up against pistols now, and it'll be Draken. I'd assume who could have gone a little bit more aggressive with this one, knowing they're going to be low money. But for now, happy just to get the information towards the underpass, and he'll fall back. Like I said, I respect the game he's playing here. He's not trying to completely shock the world with some of the plays he's getting, but he's doing enough just to win rounds. Shots like that could have stayed for more, knowing they're on pistols, but just falls back and maintains the advantage. A player that's been criticized for his decision-making certainly is playing a correct CT half here.
So Rops will rotate back around, see if he can get toward Banana with the pistols only. Waiting inside of B. Get Right and Rez for a boost. They are indeed. Toward Oranges too. Oh, be careful, Chris. Get the gun back in your hand. He just barely does. Rez went down. This is all right. mousesports now have B site. Rotation required. Sonny's in an excellent position and bomb is planted. That was a bit of a catastrophe that they got caught mid-boost.
They keep dropping to that B site. There's going to be a trade here as well. Rops well played to help out Sonny. Sure, they give 1 kill away, but they maintain this advantage with that bomb down. Forrest now to clutch things out. They've got a smoker. They can throw it towards Coffins. That would be ideal. Both players now for mousesports on that side. Instead, he smokes the bomb. They'll go for a full defuse here. Now it's Forrest fully flashed. He's not going to help his teammate out. They'll start spamming the bomb, but it's too late. It's already been defused. Well done. NiP certainly uncomfortable there, but Rez and Get Right need to pull their socks up here. The only round they won against the B push is with that bailout play from Get Right. They actually had fumbled before then. They missed their, both of them best 30 bullet sprays, and it took Get Right with a miraculous push with that smoke. They get nothing done there at all with just pistols against them.
The ghost of Freiburg needs to help them, Henry.
That's true.
That's all they need.
Well, I would say get the AWP over towards B for a couple of rounds maybe, just to kind of get their confidence, and that's exactly what's happening. There he is. He goes towards B. They've called for that. Let's just get him set up, change things up, just to kind of fend them off for a little bit. So 3 players there for now. They presumably leave him there alone, which they do. Look in the top left right now. They're rotating back towards A. That's a good adjustment. Well called by NiP, as they'll fall back towards A. That's exactly what had to happen here. And now it's an A-sided attack, and that's great news for NiP, because they have 4 players on this side of the map now.
Sonny to work his way out from Boiler. Will put a smoke over toward the Arch instead. And they'll wrap onto A from Quad with Sticko and Oscar looking to try and explode from the apartment. Still a smoke down and prohibiting them from doing so. Look at the setup inside of the site. Easy to discern and move Dennis. It's hard to then counter that with Get Right in the corner. The flash timing's perfect. Get Right's going to turn around. Doesn't even get a kill. Doesn't even get a kill with a player directly behind him. Everyone else was blind. And the second man in solves the riddle for mousesports. It's going to go 13-11. There's no way back into the A site now. That was a very well struck take.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic there. Sonny getting it all done with the AK-47. They left middle open. NiP are going for that crossfire play. They wanted to be defensive there, and it all falls apart. The flashbang's just too spot on for mousesports there. As they come round, they just find everyone looking into the walls, trying to hide themselves as the final commitment came in from mousesports there. 2 players will survive, but mousesports will take A firm lead now on the T-side of Inferno. Will be 13-11 with 4 players surviving as well, just what the doctor ordered for them. And Rez, he'll be holding up towards the ruins and his Draken to stay with him. So it seemed like a great play, seemed like the perfect solution. But with Draken towards the barrels of the B side of the map, they went for a more defensive, passive approach, allowed mousesports to have the top of middle, the apartment, and he saw Sunny just completely destroy them. Just to note, Rops has found his 24th frag in that particular round.
Pretty solid score when you...
So in this half alone, he's had 10 kills, so that's pretty magnificent of him.
Absolutely magnificent of him, but important that the last round went mousesports' way, and he was a big part of that because now they've got an advantage and they've got guns back up. And NiP not with any money beyond this round.
Yeah, this is big now. All roads lead here for NiP. They need this one to be going in their favor. You can see the FAMAS brought out for Dennis, get right on the UMP. That B bomb site has been such a problem for them. And Draken, for this particular round, he'll be posted up back towards that arch. Maybe they feel like that was too much of a compromise. Number 25, the last few here. mousesports looking to take us to a third, which is Nuke. Sunny, top of middle now, smoke to protect him, and even more so as he pushes through towards the quad. Rez trying to react, but Sticko opens things up.
Rez has to be very careful. He's revealed himself. Yes, he spotted players, but they've already got a kill on Forest, which means they're going to increasingly look toward the A site. This is a mandatory round for NiP, and it's not going their way at all. mousesports with great use of utility, great positional control of the pits, and a bomb going down in default. Have another round of their name because NiP is not going to budge from B. They need all the guns they can to carry over.
That really didn't go well. 14-11. Sticko doing the majority of the heavy lifting there. Towards A they go this time, and both bomb sides looking weak at this point. It was Forrest that got dropped first. We didn't see the kill, but I assume it was towards the apartment side. He got taken down. Sticko gets himself in the pit. Nice spray towards the site. And NiP not looking as efficient as they were on Mirage. Get right to save a UMP. Rez with the M4. They have to force by the next round. They have no choice. They're on currently second save loss bonus with this round going against them. They'll get $1,900 per player. No one's got any sort of residual cash. And maybe Get-Right can drop another UMP. That's about as good as it gets. That's if he survives, which he will. He gets another $600 at least for that kill. So there we have it. 14-11. mousesports looking convincing to take us towards Nuke. As you can see, 5 players survive at mousesports. That bodes very well for them. Not so well for NiP. I assume they'll call a pause here as the seconds count down. Lot seems like to call it last second. They won't go for it. So 2 rifles, one of which is a FAMAS, 2 pistols, and that 1 saved UMP. A desperate time for Ninjas in Pajamas.
Oscar gets his AWP positioned and ready. They need a miracle on the NiP side. They need that magic. Fall back. Rez is already tagged 16 HP. Again, they struggle over toward the B site early, and more importantly, they lose Banana. Dennis trying to do what he can inside of Boiler. I thought he might check the peak as Sticko was running away. With that early damage, it's all roads to Banana, and that is the road to B. Chris will be the first to enter. Flash out, nade comes through. He knows one's up close because of that nade, but Get-Right makes 2 on the UMP. Gun down. Not grabbable by any means, however, and they've lost Rez, the nade to take care of him. Finally and fully smoke positioned, but that's going to allow them to wrap into ruins. Get-Right's well aware of it, steps out, and he's going to anticipate it, but can't hit the shot. A shot they absolutely had to nail, and Sticko steals it away instead. Sunny will do the same. This is going map point for mousesports as it's just Forrest left in a 1-on-3.
Nothing he can really do with this one, Matt. Down he goes. Well struck by mousesports. It's 3 kills to Sticko again. He carried the previous, and he's instrumental in the success to find the map point. Get-Right did what he could. He gets 1 kill, but as soon as his teammate goes down with the HE, you feel like he's got no chance. He found an M4, and it was slightly moving when he fired the first bullet. I think it looked really inaccurate when he started committing to the spray. Couldn't connect any shots towards Sticko, who had absolutely everything. And it's going to take 4 rounds in a row with barely anything here around number 27 to try and end this in 2 maps. But it looks almost certain to be going towards Nuke.
Dennis looks inside a boiler again with a CZ. Smash the porcelain and take the pennies. Cash in on what you can. UMPs, plural, there's 2. CZs, same thing, and then a FAMAS. 1 kit for Forest, should it come to that. They have smokes. They've not bled themselves dry as of yet. Smoke goes one way as it arrives from where it was thrown as well, because they've covered off CT no sooner than Banana was smoked from Get Right. And a nade out. We'll do a minor infraction onto Sunny. Undeterred, he'll take a stance outside of the smoke, though, and get toward the cubby, toward sandbags, toward a position where they can boost. Ultimately toward B. Finding Dennis pushed that far down, however, may suggest that he's looking for information because they've rotated early, and that's exactly what mousesports anticipates. They go back and head toward the A site. Forrest also pushed up, but no better weapon. He's only on the CZ as well. A lot of bullets used to find the first kill, and he's out for the second. He couldn't quite get it. He might have had a chance with even 2 more bullets left over. Dragon makes do and finds Sunny, but they're down a man. They're down a bomb site.
They certainly are. 3 versus 2, still possible, but the bomb is going to be planted with no kits. So we'll see what they can do. I'm not going to hug this one up until I see a convincing position from NiP here. This kill might open something up here, though. Rez, not the cleanest, and he'll be punished for it. If he gets a quick kill, then swings around towards quad, maybe there's a chance. And Draken, just in this SMG, not going to be able to do anything. And against all the odds, it felt like they were out of it. NiP with a fantastic lead on the T side of Inferno map, but it all fell apart. They lost to the Eco, and at that point, they ended up losing 8-7. And their CT side was, I'm going to say it, was actually very weak. They couldn't seem to hold on to any of the sites, as they gave away so many rounds to almost nothing. CZ's running over them, and the commitments toward the B side, they were only winning rounds through individual miracles coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, B was a huge problem for them throughout, and not even just that they couldn't get the kills. I feel like they just didn't get enough control of it. You called it that they had to put Draken there with the AWP. They did that one round. That's great. But they,
as soon as they did it, though, great call from mousesports. They go towards A.
Yeah,
and then he's not there anymore.
Well, and not only is he not there anymore, it's the one round they finally had the AWP. In losing that round, the economy was always a problem. They never had the option to do it again, so it was literally the perfect round to do it on.
Absolutely so. Well, there we have it. We do go to Nuke. It's a map that we do know mousesports plays, but if you remember, we saw them yesterday on it, and that's what Oscar was using exclusively the auto shotgun. Dropped like 3 frags. He did tweet about it today, though. He did say, I've been practicing my shotgun skills in the server, trying to do what I can. I think it was obviously a little bit jovial, but in that sense that I don't think we'll see him make the same mistake. Surely he will be more focused on the rifle than just an auto shotgun here.
Yeah, well, I hope so. He did, the tweet was rather unfortunate. And
yeah, I didn't want to go into that. I remember what the second part was.
No,
it was like,
but such is the state of the internet. And anyway, let's not get into that. Either way, it wasn't effective, and I don't, like I talked about it last time, I don't think it just affected Oscar. I think it affected everyone around him because he couldn't support from afar in rotations.
Sure. Well, there we go. It is the third map. NiP got to be feeling the pain there. That was their pick, and they had it in the palm of their hand. They're running away from the T side, but it all fell apart. And Sticko was actually one of the MVPs towards the end.
Absolutely. And I just want to point out, NiP does have a good history on Nuke, but it is a different version of it, and it is a third map in a series where there's been ups and downs for both sides. So with that, we'll take a break. We'll rejoin the analysts to see what they fathom for Nuke, and we'll be back in any minute.